Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimbo United States Army veteran, retired VA rating specialist, and your VA claim nugget man. We had some difficulty. I had to create a new stream. I apologize. So we're live now, and I'm here with my business partner, Don Freed, Marine veteran. And today we're going to be talking about a new launch for veterans in 2026. But before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, to KMD89 VA Claims Consulting YouTube channel. First up, Tampa Counseling and Wellness. If you need a mental health DBQ and Nexus statement, look no further than Tampa Counseling and Wellness in sunny Tampa, Florida. Dr. Sarah Nicholas, reach out to her and they can get you squared away. Also, another sponsor is Access Medical in Lafayette, Louisiana. Dr. Freeman and his team. If you need a medical DBQ and Nexus statement, make sure you reach out to him. All right. Very knowledgeable in that area. Also, one of our recent sponsors is American Heroes in Columbus, Ohio. So you all can see we have sponsors throughout the country. Okay. And if you need a mental health and or medical DBQ and Nexus statement, reach out to American Heroes. Also, My Life in Wishes. This is our latest sponsor. And what I really like about this sponsor, they have a platform where you can store documents. So after you pass, your family obviously is grieving. You can upload your personal documents there to include rating decisions, notification letters, DD-214, and give your loved ones access to those documents. And they're in one place. Veterans get 50% off. Make sure you click the link to any of the sponsors in the description section. My Life and Wishes, they have the 50% off. That is a one-time payment. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. My business partner, a lot of you have already met him. This is the gentleman that said, hey, Dwayne, years ago, you ought to start a YouTube channel. Don, welcome to this evening live stream. How are you doing, sir?
Good. So many moons ago, huh? Every time we talk about it, I think back how many years ago it is and how far you've come with the education platform and how many pounds ago that was too. I got to get back on my walk. So,
we were a little bit younger back then.
That cruise, though, I mean, I got like 10 pounds on my waist, but I'm doing great. Thanks for having us, and sorry about the technical difficulties. Those things rise up.
Yeah, as soon as I went live, it said we're not streaming on YouTube, but on LinkedIn. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, we don't want that,
Well,
so
now you see, after having built technology, the snafus that come with things. So
come behind it, yeah. And the only thing I couldn't find the thumbnail. So hopefully it'll let me upload it later. But if not, we're going to get going. So again, people, tonight we got something special we want to share with you. Don and I, we've created a software for Veterans VA Benefits Navigator where you can create your own educational packet. And we sat down and we were like, you know what? We need to create something else. And it is here, people. It is here. And we're going to be talking about it tonight. But before, let's jump into the comment section. Let's see who we have. My sister, Closet. Good evening. Okay. All right. California. Okay. Cali. Going back to Cali.
What's going on in your sister's closet? What's going on?
Yeah, I know, right? That sounds like a business, right? Okay. All right. Okay. So before we get into some Q&A, just want everybody to know, and I'll let Don speak on it a little bit, and then we'll get back into the Q&A. Don, what was going on in that brain when you said, hey, let's create something for 2026? What did you come up with?
Well, and this is before we got into the book here. Before I really got into this thing, that's all thumbnailed out, highlighted. Now I got.
Come on, show that book. Who wrote that book? Where you get that book from?
Dog earmarks. this guy looks familiar here on the back. You got blurred out. You got censored.
Yeah.
But this book right here is very inspirational. And you know, it when we launched the technology, because let's back up, because your whole journey has gone from claims development, working one-on-one with people. And guess who I talked to tonight? I was talking to Tony Ellsworth tonight.
Oh, okay.
Spent some time with him on the phone. There comes Pearl now at my feet. And he was commenting on that. You know, he noticed that because he was asking about the university. And I was telling him about it. He's like, oh, I thought he did claim stuff. I was telling him about the journey. I was like, you know, you've gone more from that to the educator, right? And so when we connected on building the technology this year, it was about, hey, a tool that people could use to educate themselves on the process and just ingrain the process in your brain. And we talk about this all the time on our training calls for our users and our clients now is, you know, even in my own journey, what it took 4 years, 3-4 years to get educated, where now you hear me talk, I can actually talk a little bit about, you know, I got a macro, like a little micro piece of the knowledge that you do, but that's how it spreads, right? You train somebody, and we were just talking about on Tuesday's live call, right? Training the trainer or teaching a man how to fish, right? You eat for life, you know, and that's the part of our philosophy. And I was sharing about that article. And sorry, you got me going on this rant now. I'm just going on but you know, we were super excited to bring it back here to what we built. And you know, but out of all this, your journey has gone from claims development to educating people, upwards of almost 800 videos. Boy, I can't wait till you hit 800 because then I'll be accurate. That day's in the 700 range. But you know, between that time frame, you've evolved into this education platform. The first book, second book, which is a thriller. Can't put it down. Almost done with it, but got this technology now that we brought out here on October 4th, and people in our beta were prompting us to do more. Right? It wasn't enough to have the software, which breaks down the complexities of the 38 CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations that is behind the VA and how they have to rate your claim. Once you start understanding that stuff, you know, we eliminate the complexities there. But when you start understanding that stuff, that's when you're empowered. That's when you can eat and teach other people. And you don't need these claim sharks. You don't need the people. It's great to have a VSO, but you don't need these other organizations essentially to develop your claim. There are people like our friend that we know who does the wealth management. How much is that going to cost me to get it done? Just get it done. Right. But the average person, how would you say they're trying to get it done on their own, I would think.
Yeah. Majority of the people. And that's what, you know, I was writing out some stuff today and I came up with the trifecta. Okay. So we got the software, we got the book.
Third book. What do we got going on?
No, down the university. So that's the trifecta.
Okay.
Those three things. So it talks to what you just explained. So the university people, it's a 5-month program. It's going to be a class every 2 weeks. And we got quizzes. We already got the quizzes set up. Okay. You're going to have homework, and it's got the syllabus is going to be the book. So I see some people in the chat says, hey, Dwayne, I got the book already. Awesome. Got Dingus 505. Hello, Dwayne, from Albuquerque. Love your new book. So that is going to be the syllabus. Okay. So we're going to be following along with the book. And the best way to do this is you're going to follow along when I'm filing a John Doe claim. And you're going to be filing your claim at the same time. And we're going to be using the book. Okay. And there's some things that you need to do. So it's based off my training, you know, as a VA rater, Don's training, as him going through that process. Okay. And a combination of the both. And we're going to facilitate this training. And again, along the way, you're going to be able to do your intent to file. And we're going to talk about what does John Doe do next. Okay. And looking for medical and mental health doctors to start building that evidence. Okay. Little things like that. And again, it's a 5-month program. We got 2 cohorts. We got one done. The first one starts February 3rd. The second one starts at February 12th. The one on February 12th is for our mountain, our West Coast veterans, because we said, hey, we do a lot of stuff on East Coast time. Let's push it back. So their cohort starts on February 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
8 to 9.
8 to 9? 8 to 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it
We
was
went
7.
a little later just to help out. Yeah, 8 to 9, 7 to 8 on the Tuesday class. Yeah.
Right. So individuals, you can see the ticker down at the bottom. That is the website. Also, I'm going to be dropping a link for you. And Don, do you want to talk about if we have any beta testers, any discounts that we're giving for this?
If you're watching, that's right. We sent 4 of them out today. And so for the, just as a show of appreciation for the people that have been with us since, man, I think some of the beta, we launched the software October 4th. It took us a little bit longer than we thought.
Yeah.
Some of these people signed up for access as early as June, July. So some of our beta people who and they've stuck with us. So that big group, there's a big group of them that are just there, supporting and have actually contributed to some of their thoughts. And that's what we want. People coming in, tell us how to improve these processes. We're trying to, create a higher standard within the industry itself. We're the only education platform besides YouTube channels out there. We want to set a bar. If anybody follows after us, we're going to make it very high to get there. So, let us know what we can do to improve. But the beta people, if you're out there, we're going to give you a $300 credit to apply to any one of the tiers that we have. We offer 3 different ways to get in, from a lower priced option to somebody who wants to go, all in on their claim. We're going to give you full access to as many cohorts as you want, free technology, so there's the gamut, and we'll cover those in a little bit, but you'll get $300 credits. We sent 4 out today. We released this first to our beta group just to ensure that they have first right of refusal to kind of get in on the university. We're going to cap the student access for the first one, and excited to get it going. So what Dwayne's alluding to is, if you're going to hop into cohort, again, we're not doing claims development, but you file that intent to file or you bring your claim, you're going to develop a claim strategy, not just one claim. You're going to, out of this 5-month process, develop a strategy for your claim. This is where you can ask a lot of detailed, oriented questions about what we would do in certain scenarios. Again, we're not going to do this because our goal is to educate you, to empower you to take this back out to your community, your brothers and sisters on your left and right, your family members, if you got them, all of those. And we want to grow everybody's knowledge in the space.
All right. So I have the screen pulled up. I don't know if you could see it, Don. And we're going to get into, someone did ask, what is the cost? Okay. What is the cost for this? Good question. Okay. So we're going to cover this. We got 3 tiers. Okay. And it's very important to understand each tier, and I'll let Don explain these real quick, and we want to jump back over to some Q&A. But also, Don, can you go over these 3 tiers and let them know the financing that's available, okay? So they don't have to pay it all up front, and this is a one-time payment.
We wanted to come out with options for people, just because some people we know in our groups already are just saying, how much does it cost? Just get it done. I want to get in and do this, and I want to go all in. We got some people that might just want to explore or are new to claims, and maybe they're out of service for some time, or they're about to get out of service and they're filing their first claim, and they just want to get familiar with the process of claims. So we created a lower priced option for that at the $997 level, the tier 3 foundation. Just a reminder, these are priced. This is 5 months of time that we're putting into people. So we're packing these cohorts in. We're spending 5 months with you, coaching you, training you, giving you free access to the software that's included in that. So on top of the homework in the class, that's only 1 hour, and we always say 1 hour, right? But it's always
we go over.
We're pouring our energy into you guys because we want you to benefit. And we've had some wins already, that are great when we hear that feedback. But you're getting the book for free, no cost on the software while you're in a cohort. and then you're getting direct hands-on training through the book. But
education.
And so $9.97 gets you in on the floor. That's just kind of dip your toe in the water. Maybe you're new to the claims process, but the mid-price one is relatively good because this is where I was at a couple of years ago, where I was in the mid 60, 40 to 60% range. And I had quit at some point, and then I needed only 1 or 2 rounds with Dwayne and his coaching to get me over the hump. So we created this mid-tiered price. So if you're in that zone, really, we give you 18 months and 2 cohorts, right? So for that mid-tier price, you can come in and spend 18 months with us, and you can go into a cohort once, go right back to back if you want, take a break, go back to another one. But you can you get the software access and you get the book. And again, the 2 cohorts would probably get you through the hump. Then somebody in the all-in level is going to be, hey, it's blitzkrieg. I know I'm in for the long haul. And again, it took me 6 years. Some people that separate get right to it and get to that 100% real fast. And so everybody's journey is different. You don't know how long it's going to be. The tier one's just for somebody who already knows. That's where you're going to get the best value. You're paying a one-time price. You're no subscription fees ever again. You can go into as many cohorts as you want. We're going to do a quarterly call with this group. And we're going to limit this too because we're allowing them into as many cohorts as possible. So we're going to cap this at 100 seats available in lifetime for the time being, just because we don't want them to fill up the cohorts. We want new people come in, new blood to come into the cohorts as well. So 3 different structured pricing. Financing is available. We've partnered with a few different providers that can finance the cost on the back end if that's something you want to do as well. And then we do offer the discount to beta members. So,
yep. All right. So if anybody, you have any questions about that, I got the link going across the bottom of the ticker, and then I'm posting it in the comment section as well. Okay. If you got
that's a good point right there. Wait, before you scroll down, sorry to cut you off. Let's talk about that real quick.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go 2 sessions with us and you said this isn't for you, no questions asked, you're going to get 100% of your money back. We stand behind our abilities to do this, what we've built, the book, and we're very confident in what we're offering here. So again, just want to reiterate this, and before we skip over it, if you don't like it, money's coming back at you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Don. Thank you for that. So let's jump over into some questions. Okay. Where do we go? Okay. All right. Here we go. If claiming obstructive sleep apnea to PTSD, secondary PTSD, and knee sprain with intermediate step of weight gain, will the examiner examine PTSD and knee symptoms, range of motion? Yes, they should. Okay. So I cannot tell you what any particular CMP examiner will do. I can tell you what they're supposed to do. So when it comes to range of motion, yes, they are supposed to measure range of motion using a goniometer. I have a couple of videos out there on my YouTube channel that explains this and what to do if the examiner refuses to measure that range of motion for that particular joint using a goniometer. The 38 CFR is very clear as it pertains to that. And sometimes examiners, they'll say, I'll just eyeball it, but they are trained. Hey, you have to use that goniometer. When you get that copy of that CMP exam, it asks them, how did you measure it? And they'll check the box, goniometer, knowing that they didn't do it. So veterans, you have to understand it. And guess what? That's the name. I got a video for that. Okay.
I was literally thinking, is that really the name? But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got what? Hey, appreciate everything. Appreciate you, sir. Are you allowed to work if you're 100% permanent total for PTSD? Guess what? I got a video on it. And what I'm doing, I'm giving commentary in that video, and I'm showing you a YouTube video from the VA's channel. And I had somebody to contest and say, wait a minute, if you have IU, you cannot work. That is a lie. You can, but you are limited to the amount of income that you can make. And that's coming from the VA's YouTube channel. And somebody was contesting me on that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So understand the difference between IU. If you have individual unemployability, is based off the number of dependents that you have, the poverty threshold, and then 100% PNT. Hey, yeah, you can go out and be Denzel Washington's stunt double in Hollywood.
That's right, but it's that TDIU, right? That's very specific to
That gets you. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Pound it, fist pound. 100. That's 100. Okay, Army vet here. All right. Cool. Rock steady.
Where my Marines at? Come on.
Yeah. Where you at, Marines? Who said that? Who said that?
Chad.
What Twinkle Toad said that?
Waiting for Muddy Hill to pop on any moment.
Yeah. No, you were out in San Diego. Where did you live in San Diego? You was on the beach. You was a surfer, right?
I was down there Encinitas for a minute, and then Little Italy was my last point down here. Still right down there by the Marine training unit. So
the first place you said Encinitas, is that where all the bars and stuff were at? Located?
There is a nice little stretch of bars for about 9 blocks. Right on that's the beachfront place that I lived in. That was very fun.
So go in one of those bars, you might see Don's picture, like, hey,
like blacklisted. Do not allow this guy.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, Flynn Howard, Dwayne. Thank you for the YouTube videos. Just 100% PNT the other day. Counsel by HLR. Hey, congratulations. I got a new toy here. So there we go. Everybody give a round of applause.
Yeah. That's 2 people this week that have come back, right? And let us know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Feedback. Yeah.
I'm calling from Alaska. Should I wait to get a vocational assessment until after I get my Nexus and service connected so the vocational assessment can use their own words? When I rated, I never saw a vocational assessment in a veterans claims folder. I've heard a lot of veterans try to use this to get IU, okay? But first you have to understand the different, what you're claiming, what condition are you claiming, and where does it fall under the different ways of service connection, okay? So for direct service connection, you need 3 elements: current diagnosis, a link in service, and a nexus. You have to start there. And our VA Benefits Navigator, it helps you build out that lay statement. It gives you that educational packet. We got links to the prescribed claim forms that you need, and those is linked to the claim forms on the VA's website. You should only be getting these documents from the VA's website. So Don and I, what we did the heavy lifting. Don, how many hours do you think we've talked on the phone, been on Zoom, Google Meets, and we were building this thing out?
We probably should track that for our our management team, but we're into the 1,000 range probably collectively amongst the 2 of us. So,
easy. Yeah.
We broke down over 1,000 diagnostic codes inside of the CFR and behind the VA. Yeah. So explain this a little bit. What is this vocational assessment piece, if you can? I don't really know much about that.
It's Raiders don't use it. It falls under voc rehab. A lot of individuals are going to college. They want to go back, learn a trade or something like that. So under VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration, you have home loan guarantee. You have voc rehab, which we were talking about here, the voc assessment. You have the education department. You have the insurance department. You have the pension department, and you have the compensation. I only worked under the compensation piece. That's where the money's at. That's what we're talking about. Just that piece, compensation piece under VBA. And then you got VHA, Veterans Healthcare Administration, all the medical healthcare treatment side. Then you have NCA, National Cemetery Administration. They handle all the burial sites and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for that. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, TDIU. There it is. TDIU. Okay. Can you get service connected for CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, if you already have sleep condition like sleep apnea or narcolepsy, or will they deny you because of sleep condition? I never seen them deny that just because you had sleep apnea. I cannot recall a case where I actually granted CFS and a veteran had sleep apnea. But again, people, here you're talking about 2 different bodies. I don't think CFS falls under respiratory. And it's not under musculoskeletal. I'm trying to think of which body system it falls under. But again, you have to figure out, and in my first book, I have a diagram on page 13 of VA claim success. in my first book, and I talk about the different ways of service connection, and I list some conditions, and I have arrows, a line going to each one, and you have to figure out where does that fall. I was talking to a veteran today in a private Q&A session, and they were talking about these different conditions, and I was like, hey, which way of service connection does it fall under? And also in VA Benefits Navigator, the software, when you select a body system for a particular condition, the first question we ask them, Don, is what? Under different ways of service connection,
yeah.
Which way are you claiming it? And that we even have a short video in there. I have a video on my YouTube channel, but I recorded another video and we put it right in the software, so you don't have to jump back and forth to my YouTube channel. Okay.
Can anybody out there name one of the service connection?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, the book is live on Amazon. Okay, so now you can pick it up on Amazon, but you go through Amazon, you won't get the discount, and it will not be
time to win.
Signed. Yep, VA. Man, that book got some creases on the side.
I told you I've been going through this thing.
So you can go to Amazon and get it. You won't be able to buy it as a bundle. You have to buy it separately. But again, I have the link to my website to get the book if you want to sign one and the discount codes. People, when you check out, I've had my team to create these beautiful pictures of the book with the coupon code. People are still not inputting the coupon code. I am not going back and refund the discount, okay? It lets you know people are not reading their rating decisions and notifications letters, okay? You got to do it, people. James Jeffries, how you doing? Okay. VA circumcised me during a prostate removal procedure. No one knows what happened, leaving me scarred mentally and physically. Can I receive SMC compensation? There's more questions that I have to that. If the prostate removal is service connected, if you are a Vietnam veteran and you're service connected for prostate cancer, if you have any scarring from that, you can claim painful scars secondary to that. Also, you can claim major depressive disorder secondary to that. If they bought something up, okay, like really screw something up down there, then you can file what is called an 1151 claim. I got a video on that. I only got one, but even if you go to the M21-1, just do a quick search, type in 1151, a lot of information will come up.
So you mean if they cut the wrong leg or something, or circumcise somebody when they're not supposed to be doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a major.
And if you win and that condition is not service connected, you can get that service connected, even though it's not related to service. I saw it was a veteran, two instances. I want to say I think one was in Miami. Veteran got a colonoscopy. They weren't using clean equipment, and the veteran contracted HIV from that. Okay. Got service connected. HIV is in the rating schedule as well. I rated one case when I worked for the FDC clinic at the Bay Pines VA Medical Center in St. Petersburg, Florida. A veteran came in. He was able to get service connection for HIV on direct service connection basis. Also, I think it was the Phoenix. I want to say it was out west, Phoenix or Vegas. Veteran had diabetes really bad. They had to amputate a leg due to diabetes. The VA amputated the wrong leg, and then they had to go back and amputate the leg that they were supposed to. Yeah. So
now you're a double.
Yeah. So veteran was able to get service connected for the good leg that they amputated, but now everything from that, and they were able to get service connected for a laundry list of stuff, and they went through like major depressive disorder, adaptive housing, but it's still that for life, it's crazy. But I've seen that. Okay. Hello from Georgia. Okay. Peach, what is that? The Peach State? Migraines with a headache. Vermont. Is it snowing up there?
Right.
We're in shorts down here in sunny Florida, okay?
It's 80 degrees today.
My sister's closet. Okay, it's a boutique, but I'm asking a VSR at the Atlanta. But are you a VSR at the Atlanta region office? Because Atlanta had my claim first, and let me tell you, as a Raider, they had my claim, and I fought with Atlanta for like 3 years. It was not a good feeling. Okay.
Right.
Steven, Mr. Freeman, Kentucky. Okay, I grew up, Steven, I grew up about 60 miles west of Paducah, Kentucky, in Missouri. Okay. All right, here we go. We got somebody from Florida. Okay. All right. I recognize that icon, Dingus 505. He or she leaves me a lot of comments on YouTube. Thank you for the support. Say you got the book. I know the first book is a game changer and a headbanger. The second book, I'm like, we're leveling the playing field. Okay. And that's what we think about. We were thinking, Don, it's like, hey, how can we level this playing field? How can we, what can we offer the veterans that's going to level the playing field to help them, with their VA claim? And that's definitely that's what it's about, because we don't.
That's why I see so many creases in this book already. I mean, it's just so much of the nuanced strategies that you've picked up over not just the 9 years in-house with the VA, but the 15 years you've been doing this. So it's got a lot of nuggets in there.
Yeah. And the chapter that took me the longest was I went through and I applied lay statements. So when you get to that chapter, all those lay statements, and I cut that in half. I got other lay statements, and I went through, and I handwritten those. So I went through and I was like, okay, let me change this, let me change that, let me change this, let me change that, as it pertains to what John Doe was claiming. I think I gave some extra examples, and then somebody was like, Dwayne, I'm not gonna let that cat out of the bag. I know we talked about it, Don, but it could be something else coming down the pipeline. But we'll keep that under wraps for now. Okay, Ron Johnson, hello, how you doing, sir? I filed an appeal in 2018. I had the video hearing with the judge. Why does BVA, Board of Veterans Appeals, take so long? I think they need to hire more judges. I don't know what's the problem. Just hire like 50 more. But I'm pretty sure that budgets and stuff like that are involved, but they're limited. Okay, you got hundreds of raters, so you don't have nearly as many judges as you do rating specialists.
That sounds like a really long time, though.
Yeah. But I've seen people go to Board of Veterans Appeals. I had a client. He went to Board of Veterans Appeals last November, this time last year, and he got a decision in July.
They tried the White House hotline, and that put some pressure on him from above.
Right, but when you fill out that form, they give you 3 options for BVA, and they tell you the option that is the quickest. So if you try to get in front of a judge, that's going to take a while, because they used to have what's called traveling BVA, okay? And they would travel around the country to different regional office, and when you were on the docket, you could show up, you'd be by yourself or your representative. Hopefully you had a good one, and you can sit down. Those take the longest. Or you can fly up to DC on your own dime, okay? But they tell you on that form, Don, they give you 3 options, okay? I've only had 2 clients go to BVA. Both of them, they won. They let the judge do the review. They put together their own statement as to why the rater screwed up, and they should be service connected. And guess what? They won.
Well, hopefully that's a big one for you. Hopefully that comes through with a big win. And then if they get that backdating in effect, that could be there. So good luck.
Queen, I am 70% for bipolar and awaiting PTSD rating. I can already tell you about to go down a road you don't want to go down, because guess what? Mental is mental. If you are already service connected for bipolar disorder, why would you file a claim for PTSD? They're not going to give you 70% for bipolar and then turn around and give you 50% for PTSD. It doesn't work that way. That'll be pyramiding. Yep. Where they combine. It's just an increase. That's all it is. It's just an increase. Will it reduce overall efficiency? Currently 90% off. You know what? You just open up a can of whoop, you know what. I have a video, an older video, and I just re-recorded it. How do you obtain a single 100% for a mental condition? Okay. So when you filed a claim, you filed it as a PTSD claim. The VA is going to look at it as an increase in bipolar. Okay. And if the diagnosis changed to PTSD, now they got to develop what is the stressor, or is it a progression? And I have a video on that talking about a progression. So this is why education is so important, because before you file that claim, you should have been talking to somebody and say, wait a minute.
What's my strategy here?
It's not a claim for PTSD. It's a claim for increase for bipolar. Okay. Watch YouTube videos on CMP exams, veteran statements submitted to support claims. I thank you for your help and support. Thank you for supporting the channel. And again, people, those videos out there, and if you look at some of these comments, Don, I spend every morning at least 30 minutes, and I'm responding to people's questions in those comments. And people have told me, hey, I got your first book. Been following you on YouTube for a couple of years. Hey, I'm 100%, or I'm at 90%, and I did it myself. And I've never talked to them. Okay. So again, people, when we talk about this trifecta, the book, the university, the VA benefits navigator, the software, the trifecta, that's the new thing. We got to coin it, right? These are the things that's going to move the needle. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get 100%. Not all veterans are eligible for 100%. But we strongly believe that you will be able to move the needle. Maybe you've been stuck at 10%, it gets you to 50 or 60. You start out with that intent to file. You saw the pricing, the tier 3, $997, $1,000. You can got a payment plan for that. You do the intent to file, you go through the entire 5 months, and let's say you get 50%. And you get that back pay. 50% is probably, I want to go out on a limb and say maybe like $600, between $600-700. Multiply that by 5 or 6 months, however long it takes the VA to rate that. There you go. You didn't pay yourself back. You recoup the funds that you put in. But then what's important about that, Donnie, when you talked about this yesterday on our call with our software, once I educated you on the process, what did you do after that? Once I educated you,
got my dad on. My dad, 3-year veteran, 15 years in his claim process. Turned around, got him 100%. Got my brother-in-law going as well. Then friends started to come out of the woodwork, right? T Horn, if you're out there, get back on the horse, buddy. People start seeing you.
Right, and I developed that mainly those educational packages because what happened was I was booked up. I used the software that Don uses, and he was like, hey, use this software. And I was booked up for 2.5 months, meaning I was doing consultations. I'm like, I'm not doing consultations anymore because people couldn't talk to me for like 2.5 months. And that was just entirely too long.
And so you were working round the clock over every day of the week. DJ came on at that time. So these guys were just trying to crunch out as much as they could to help people out.
Yeah, we were busy. And YouTube, so I'm still trying to record videos and stuff, All right, so let's keep going. It says, what is the cost? We did share the cost. If you all still need to see the cost, I have the ticker, down below. I'm also unplugging I'll put it in the chat for everybody. Okay. For individuals. Come on, we got 89 people. Also, make sure you click that like, subscribe, and notification.
Hey, there's Muddy Hill. I just noticed there's a whole comment section over here. I was like, oh my goodness.
You know what? Before we couldn't get here, let's put it on the screen. Here we go.
Oh wait, I can't even post the comments.
Something's going on your computer because you can't share when it comes to Zoom, nothing like that, right? So now you can see the comments on the screen. But anyway, why isn't narcolepsy considered a MUCME? And that's abbreviation, okay? or a presumptive condition after being exposed to toxins in Iraq and Afghanistan when so many vets are being diagnosed after deployment. I cannot tell you why the VA has not made it one, but, MUCME itself is not a condition that you can claim. They have subcomponents, sub-conditions that you can claim under MUCME, okay? Again, here is the link if you are interested in the university. And, you got time, people, but like Don said, when these seats fill up, that's it. And I know people are going to come say, can I get one more seat? You're going to have to wait till the next. We're not trying to cram a bunch of people, 100 or 200 people in one cohort.
You want to take care of the people that are in there.
Right, right. Because people have questions, about the book with things I put in the book. And we want to make sure we're going to follow that format. This is not a training just on your particular claim. Education is just like school, right? We got those quizzes for you, and we'll know if you did the quiz. We'll know
if you're doing
if
the
you
homework.
pass, if you flunk. We'll know. We're going to go through those questions, and we're going to be explaining those answers. Okay, so it's just not show up and it's ask Don and Dwayne. Oh, hey, what about this? Nope, we're doing this in the Q&A here. Okay,
but that's the point. Is you take advantage of that time, because in that 5 months, you're going to come out walking out like a VA Raider mindset, and you're going to be able to do this on your own if you want. You're probably going to have more knowledge than some VSOs out there.
Yep. And so again, it's that education piece. And one thing that I ask people not to do, don't overthink the process. The VA gives us the answers. They give us the answers in the rating decision. They give us the answers on their website. The website is like a black hole. I was on there today. Guess what? I'm going to be in there tomorrow looking at stuff.
Letters. Those are giving you the answers too. We're talking about that too. The Muddy's on here right there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I went to the Marines. They're the ones that took you, right? They're like, hey, you're right for us.
I had a person from the VA call me yesterday and asked me, did I have any more evidence to support my sleep apnea claim? I said, a lay statement. Is that a good answer? That lay statement should have been submitted along with your claim.
Yeah.
And guess what you're creating in the VA Benefits Navigator software? A lay statement. Our members know how to go in, select the body system, that the diagnosis that they're claiming. They select the diagnosis. There are other questions in there, and then it builds out a lay statement, and it comes out as in the form of educational packet. And there's more information in that educational packet. And that's something that I created years ago. And let me tell you, a lot of people were winning with that educational packet.
Absolutely.
I no longer write those. Don and I have now put that in the software where I used to ask you those questions. I don't ask you those questions anymore. The software does. And it creates what I used to create. And if you go back and look at some of my earlier Google comments, people are talking about the educational packet. Okay. That's how you win.
Well, and also mention too, because he can get, if you have a spouse or somebody else, they could do a buddy letter for you as well. Just people that are around you can also contribute to your evidence.
Yep, most definitely. Hello, Dwayne, Sun City Center. Hey, working toward increase in PTSD. Got videos on increases in PTSD. Sun City Center. I was just down there last month. I took my son. It's a Mexican restaurant. I can't think of the name of it. Really good. Across the street from Home Depot. What is the name of that? Down 3 up. Okay. The area is kind of growing down there too. Also learn from you what to say and do at my CMP exams, but more importantly, what not to say. There we go. Or do avoiding common mistakes.
That's the chapter I'm on right now. I'm on CMP exams right now.
Yeah. Okay. We got a member here. Muddy Hill. I was teasing Muddy Hill about that white Yeti cooler on the porch. He's like, I didn't have a cooler. He was serious too. He's like, I didn't have a cooler. It wasn't me. You're a Marine, Muddy Hill. You had that cooler out there. Okay. All right. DK, man, people used to call me DK in high school. And I'm like, okay, that takes me back. How do I go about checking on the status of my HLR 3 months and no informal call yet? I have a video.
Got a video on this.
I'll let Don explain a high-level review informal conference and what the things they do to try to get out of it.
Yeah. So I was in this exact scenario when I was at the 90% range in the same situation, waiting on a HLR, and somebody came along and said, I got a video for that. And what are you doing? Because you ain't working your claim. And so watch this video and tell them what the video, because you have 2 or 3 on the video. But in this video, if you look up this, how to request an informal conference, look on the channel.
I just uploaded a new video on that, I think in the last 2 weeks, but yeah, go ahead.
But in there, there's a number you could call there's a link you can use to request. You can actually request and schedule on their own calendar. In the next 7 days, you can get on their calendar. But when you do that, stay vigilant, because they tried to screw me on the day of by putting in a voicemail call saying that I was sitting here by the phone, had all my evidence laid out, all my claim stuff ready to go. At 7:30 in the morning, this guy, he texts and says, "Oh, sorry, we missed you didn't answer the phone." And I said, "Mother effer, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes waiting for you." The guy calls 2 minutes later. So make sure you beat him up, but you can get on their calendar right now within the next 7 to 10 days by looking at this video.
And here's a nugget, people. Here's a nugget, and I want everybody to understand. Before you schedule it, and this is something I didn't talk about in the video. I think I did a follow-up short, or when I talked about it in my second video. Call 800-827-1000, because a lot of people are just going straight and scheduling. They say the day of, they cancel it saying it was premature. So I'm like, oh, okay, really? So you got to call 800-827-1000. Let them know, hey, has an EP 030 been established? And guess what, people? I have a video explaining what are EPs. And one of them I talk about the EPs for the high-level review, 030, 031, 032. Okay, I talk about that. Then you want to, well, before they establish it, before you asked about establishing the EP 030, have you received my VA form 20-0996? Is it of record in VBMS? Yes. Check. Next question. Has the EP 030 been established? Yes. Check. The third question. Has it been assigned to St. Petersburg, Florida, regional office, what? 317. No, I know that because I worked out of that office.
There, yeah.
Or Seattle regional office. I don't know the regional office 3-digit code for Seattle, but I can go right to the M21 and I know exactly where to find it. So if the answer is yes to all 3 of those questions, watch that video and go ahead and schedule the HLR, and then watch my other videos about what questions that you want to start asking on that HLR. But Don, when you did your informal conference, if you don't mind me sharing, how was it, Joe? Did it seem like they were kind of standoffish when you were talking about certain things and the regulations? You know, were they being dismissive? Anything like that?
No, not at all. He was, one, surprised at the knowledge I had about 38 CFR and the statements that I was asking. And I was very pointed because I had watched the videos and I knew what to come in and ask. And essentially, I, on the phone, said, hey, I'm asking you to rate this on the sufficient evidence you have right now. Because my rater that's had the claim just messed up. They just went the wrong direction on it. So, you know, they made the wrong decision. It was pretty clear based upon the evidence because I had a plan. I had the right evidence submitted. I knew that my evidence matched up with the 38 CFR that the VA rater was supposed to rate my claim on. And so they just didn't do it right. And they do mess up. So you got to hold them accountable. And I was holding that Dro accountable on the phone. And I asked him to rate it right there on the phone. He said, give me a day or two. And guess what happened? And within 48 hours, 100% status in the system.
Yeah. And it's crazy, something to add to that. We went out and did a celebration. And what happened at that celebration? We were at Top Golf.
Oh, somebody, hey, wait a minute, aren't you Dwayne Kimball? Somebody came up from out of town, from Chicago.
Yeah, I was like, maybe. Like maybe
Tampa. That's hilarious. Yeah. Where's Will at? Thailand?
Yeah. I saw him here. Nat Baker, how you doing? I know you're out there on the West Coast, hadn't seen you in a while. And that has been a long time supporter of my YouTube. She actually attended town halls that I used to do for free. I was doing town halls every month for free. I no longer do those. But yeah, when I see her name, definitely appreciate all the support. Here we go, Muddy Hill.
Jimmy Henry, 100% right there. Look at that. I've been watching stuff.
Muddy Hill. When you all see this little symbol here, like you see next to Muddy Hill's name, he is a YouTube member. I have a YouTube membership for veterans inside of YouTube. You can sign up. The link is in the description section as well. Okay. Veterans counseling. Oh, this is Tony. Yeah. Go Mob Frat. Go Mob. Blue Flame. All right.
He doesn't like all that. He doesn't like all that stuff.
I know, but I tell him anyway. We're not in the military anymore, so I don't have to salute him. I don't do any of that. Hope all is well, Tony. He's probably out on a cruise on his phone or something, right?
He's not. He's in town. He wants.
He's in town.
So
okay,
yeah.
We got to meet up with him. Take him out to lunch or something. All right. So if you don't use the tool and I'm rejected, can I submit it again with this statement? Tool not used to measure. Check out the video, people. And in that video, what I'm talking about, if the VA examiner refuses to use that tool, before you leave that clinic, you need to be talking to somebody in charge.
The flexion, yeah.
You need to be speaking to someone in charge to let them know this examiner refused to use a goniometer to measure my range of motion. Also, when you get in the parking lot, before you even drive off, call 800-827-1000. Say, hey, I just had a back exam, knee exam, or whatever it is with Dr. Such and such, and they failed to use a goniometer. Also, you want to put all that information on the VA form 21-4138, statement of support of claim. Use the quick submit link. I got a video on how to use that and send that to the VA. That way, right. And you're asking, say, hey, before my claim is decided, send me back to someone to reschedule me another CMP exam and send me to someone that's going to use a goniometer. Because 9 times out of 10 on that CMP exam, that doctor checked that box that they actually used it and they didn't. So as a rater, I'm going to see that and I'm going to side with the veteran because I knew things like that happened. It happened to me. And I filed a complaint. And the crazy thing, Don, I went to management, and I'm gonna tell you, this is how screwed up some management is. And I was like, hey, I didn't say anything about the exam. I filed a complaint, and I said the examiner discriminated against me because I was a veteran. And they were like, whoa, wait, yeah. Yeah, he discriminated against me because I'm a veteran. And the doctor worked at the VA. So what happened was I started rating cases that this doctor did, the CMP exams. And I knew he was doing it wrong. So I'm kicking him back. I'm kicking him back. The complaint is already in. I know they're not going to do anything to him. Get a call from his supervisor. Get an email, and I call her back. And I said, he's not using a goniometer. Well, I said, you're right, but he's not doing it. Well, how do you know? I'm glad you asked. I said, because I'm the one that filed a complaint to director such and such. And she said that she talked to him, I'm assuming you as well, dead silence on the phone. So I go to management. I say, hey, I think this is a conflict of interest. I don't think I should be rating his cases. I'll need to be rating these cases of the CMP exams that he's done because I got a formal complaint in against him for discrimination against veterans.
They move you?
No, they was like, go ahead and rate them. I'm like, really? So I'm kicking them back. All of a sudden,
then you became the watchdog.
Yeah. So guess what happens? I stopped getting claims where he did the exams. So that's what management's resolution was. Don't give Dwayne any more of his cases. And I'm kicking him back. And he was pissed too. He was pissed, but I didn't care. All right. One King Bay, what's going on? Akil passing out books like candy. Yeah, Akil, thank you for being a member. Akil purchased, I think, 100 books, and we shipped them. We shipped them to him, so he's got them. Thank you for the support. He was like, hey, I want to get this information out to veterans, and he's passing them out here in the Southeast. So thank you for the support and being a member as well. Puerto Rico in the house. ¿Cómo está?
Hey, there's a Soaky run coming up in Puerto Rico. I was looking at next year. I was like, I should go down and run with my Soaky.
You see, you're thinking about them San Diego days. I received 100% PNT recently, but still had a separate secondary claim open. Although I had a decision letter, I requested to do the CMP exam again. It closed finally. Does it make sense to file an HLR? You know, I did a video on that. I did a video. That's how I got the name, because every time I was doing this, I was like, I got a video on that. I got a video on that. Somebody's like, hey, you got to coin that, you know. But people, once you get 100% permanent total, they're like, hey, you withdraw those claims if you have any additional claims, because they'll go back and look at everything. No, they won't go back and look at everything. That's ridiculous. I talked about certain times when I went back and looked at stuff. Okay.
It's such a stigma, though, in the
it's YouTube clickbait. That's what it is. You got people out on YouTube saying this, and they never rate it, and they're not telling the full story. When veterans tell them, "Hey, they went back and looked at something," it's a reason why. Okay, it's a reason why, and so you have to know the whole story. Okay, but I've seen veterans be 100% permanent total, get 100% permanent total, still have claims pending, leave those claims open. When the effective date goes back, when they weren't 100% permanent total, and they get back pay from it. But at the end of the day, this is your claim. You have to make that decision if you want to go that route. I know what I would do. You know,
what would you do in this scenario?
What would I do? Hey, I'm leaving that claim on the deck, because I know I'm looking at, I know what the effective date should be. So if I was, you know, let's say 50% back then, and those claims I have in, even though if I won that 100% permanent total, but I was 50%, and the effective date is going to be back when I was 50%, it's going to move it from 50 to 80. Yeah, I'm leaving open, because now they got to give me back pay.
Right.
Okay. So again, that's where the education comes in. You have to know not only what you're doing with your particular claim, but how the claims process can impact what you're doing. Okay.
And you should know how your claim's positioned, if it's positioned to win or not.
Yep. Now, here's the thing, Don. When we talk about HLRs, and sometimes veterans, they'll leave me a comment in the morning or throughout the day, and they'll tell another veteran, go get a lawyer. What I've seen, what I've seen happen as a raider, lawyers stream that appeal out.
Why do they do that? Why would they do such a thing?
Why would they do that? I'm glad you asked, because that's when they get paid. They get paid 20%. Some lawyers won't even take your case until you've been denied, even though they can, but they're not, because if they win your claim, if they submit a claim, they represent you, and they submit that claim and you win, they get nothing. So it's nothing in it for them. So they like, hey, some of them like, call us when you get a denial, and then they'll ask you some questions, and they think they can win. Hey, sign this form. Then they get 20%. And instead of so you can look at their rating decision. They have access to VBMS. It may take a couple of weeks for them to get it, sometimes longer. They go through and they look at everything, and they can build a game plan in a day, right? Because you can't submit any new evidence. So you're looking at, where is that mistake? What happened? But they stretch it out for 12 months. It's just sitting there. And then they submit it. And then it goes through the process, and it'll be another 6 months. So they're going to get 20% of 18 months of back pay instead of 20% of 1 month.
They want that chunk money.
Okay.
So get upwards of $30,000, I think, right? Where's he
sometimes more than that. So I've seen veterans win and get like 100,000, and that lawyer, and I will always go back and look and see when they filed that appeal, when was the denial letter rating decision sent, and the majority of the time, it's like 10, 11 months after the fact. Okay. So when people say, oh, you got to use somebody accredited. Just because they're accredited don't mean they know the process.
Yeah. And just go work with the VSOs, right?
Yeah, they're like, just go work with the VSO. Then they're like,
there are some good VSOs out there.
There are. Then they'd be like, the VSO's not picking up the phone. And then some veterans, like, the VSO filed a claim and didn't even tell me. Guess what? When you sign that form and you give them full power of attorney, they can do it. Okay. All right. Daniel Hull, hi Dwayne. I was previously denied service connection for back in 2016 with acknowledgement of the diagnosis, but able to link to service because of no complaints while in service, but have 2 STRs with complaints. Okay. So a lot of questions that I have here, Daniel. One, did you get a CMP exam? If you got a CMP exam, the VA employee acknowledge that you have a complaint in service. That's all you need. That's the link to get you to a CMP exam if you have a current diagnosis. So if you had a CMP exam, the examiner said no. So do you have a copy of your rating decision and your CMP exam? Because in there, it's going to give you the medical opinion, but also it's going to provide you the rationale, the reasoning as to why the examiner said, hey, the 2 complaints for your back condition and service, why they didn't agree with you and say it is related to service and Service Connect. Once you have that information, that rationale, the understanding of it, then you build your game plan. Don't run right to a high level review. What is the argument that you're going to make based on fact of law? Okay. So when people ask me, they think sometimes these questions are just direct or not, because now I'm firing back with another 2 or 3 questions. Okay. And then when you answer those questions, I may have another question based on that. Okay. Because go ahead.
Looking at this scenario, one, he's going to want to get a C file, right? To get that information. So you're going to want to call the 800 number. This is where you go and ask for the medical, what is it? You want to get that. Well, it's a C file. You just ask for the C file. That comes in the mail, snail mail. Yeah. And then that's going to contain the medical records that he's talking about. And that's where you're going to get that information. But the question I have is, if he got denied back in 2016, how do you reopen something like that?
Right. So Danny comes back. He says, Dan awarded supplemental in 2025. Can I request ED secondary to back to 2000 early effective date? Is that what you're asking? That's what I'm thinking. As long as you didn't let 365 days lapse when you came in with that supplemental claim. If you wait 365 days, then it's like that claim starts all over again, like you never filed it.
You lose that date.
Yeah. Yep. And you know what? I did a video where I talked about a strategy. And in this strategy, let's just say you put in an intent to file, right? And you dragged your feet. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but then it's like the day before that your intent to file expires tomorrow, December 4th. And you got 10 conditions, but you only have evidence for 5. Go ahead and submit all 10. You know those other 5 are going to get denied. You know that, right? So in the meantime, you're still going and getting evidence, maybe a DBQ or whatever. And so when they grant those 5 and they deny those other 5, you got 365 days.
I saw that somewhere before.
There it is. It's in there. There it is. That strategy. Because I talk about, hey, it's John Doe. Which strategy we're going to use, right? Yeah. So then when you file that supplemental claim, you got 365 days from the date of the notification letter, not the rating decision, the notification letter. And you win, they have to go all the way back. It could be 24 months now to the original intent to file date. That is a strategy. People are like, well, I'm going to let that expire and then I'm going to do another. Come on now. As a rater, I've seen this. I call it effective date stacking. No, not in this instance. Effective date strategy. Effective date stacking is something different when you're doing multiple intent to files. And
that was in the book too. I think you were talking about that.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. We're over an hour, Don. Do you have some time to spend a little bit more? I didn't know.
Let's go. I'd say we answer any question that's in the chat.
I didn't know if you had the cold bucks you had to get back to. So
Kohl's is open for 45 more minutes. So my daughter loves to shop at Kohl's. So ain't going tonight though.
All right. During a claim review, do VSRs review your medical notes and other medical information in your file like X-ray? They should, because and this is one thing, not a knock on VSRs, but VSRs, when I was there, they don't get trained on what makes a DBQ actionable and sufficient, what a rater needs to rate that case. And now I think some of them are requesting exams, And now you're seeing veterans that get a DBQ and Nexus statement that is sufficient for rating purposes. VSRs are still requesting exams. Some raters are even doing it. It happened to me on my last claim when I was a rater. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I am a perfect test case because I am about to push all the way back. I felt comfortable and I won. And these are some of the things I talk about. I'm giving you all the blueprint, especially in the book. So all these things that Don and I created, the software, the university, the book, it's for a reason. We just didn't sit around and twiddle our thumbs and be like, oh, let's see what we can come up, what could we come up with that will help veterans go from point A to point B, point B to point C, okay? And these things that we created helps you do that, okay? Okay, Daniel says, then awarded supplemental 225. Okay, I think
we did
that. Yeah. The book helped me get a 97. What? Oh, people, hey, we got to give a round of applause. Yeah. That's not long enough. That is, I don't know. Let's see.
You got to download those.
I'm just messing around.
He's so happy to get this thing working.
Yeah, I've got this stream deck from Elgato. It's not even working. I'm like, I'm going off. I'm like, what the heck?
Look at that. Look at Keel drop some money. Thank you, Keel.
Yeah. We're going to get to those. Let's see. Yeah, Sharon Smith.
Sharon Smith. Look at that.
Yep. Thank you for the support. Definitely appreciate it. Akil, here's a payment for a book for someone on tonight's call that don't have one. They need it. You know what, Don? Let's give away a free book. Let's give away a free book. We got to come up with a question. We got to come up with a question for somebody. And the first person that answers this particular question, will get a free copy of my new book. You could leave. We got a private chat set up, so you could leave your email, and I could send you a code where you could go to the site and put it in. But it's one. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Thank you for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you for your continued service. For my brothers and sisters, you are already appreciated. Thank you for the support. Don will tell you, I will nerd out on this stuff all day.
Until the missus comes in and yells at
me. Yeah. And I'm staying on a little bit longer tonight because she went out of town today. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So it's like my flight lands at 10. I'm like, okay, I can be on the live as long as I want. I don't have to worry about. Are you coming to eat?
She's
watching. You still on the computer? Are you coming to bed? But rocks. Okay. Direct, presumptive, pre-existing, and second.
That's what I remember we were poking.
Yeah, we were asking. Yeah, Annette's been following me for a long time, so she knows. She knows.
She's probably
How Dwayne got 30% bilateral flat feet, denied service connection for knees and back, but have knee and back diagnosis. Can I claim knees? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Donnie A. Dwayne, my HLR has been submitted since April of this year online, and it states that it's awaiting a judge. That's BVA. Is the amount of time normal? When it gets to BVA, there is no time that is normal.
The lady earlier, what'd she say? 2018?
Yeah, and people got to understand, we just coming out of government government shutdown.
That's happened a couple times through there too.
So I don't know if they consider the judges
essential.
Essential or not, but that could be playing have a impact on it. I don't know. But again, before anybody submits a BVA claim to BVA or disagreement to BVA, you have to have already got a copy of your claims folder. You got to understand this process because your statement to that judge is critical. It's not just, I wore the uniform and I should be service connected. Don't work like that. They don't care you. They care you wear the uniform,
right? But
they don't care because they like, hey, you got to follow these regulations.
You're a file in a stack. Right
now. So, when you get to that level, you're dealing with a judge and you got to be the lawyer and be like, hey, I was treated in service for a condition. I have a diagnosis, and the examiner is saying that there's no documentation in service. I go back, I get a private DBQ, Nexus statement, do a supplemental claim. They still denied it, saying they don't see it. I submitted a copy of my service treatment records that show treatment and or diagnosis in service. I did a high-level review. They're still saying it. When I get in front of that judge, guess what I'm asking that judge to do? My evidence is my evidence is in equipoise. You got a positive and a negative. I'm asking them to rate based on difference of opinion in my favor due to reasonable doubt, because the evidence is an equipoise. You got a positive and a negative. Guess what? The tie goes to the rater. I would drop this mic, but it cost me like $100. Right. There it is, people. As simple as that. So when you understand the process, and again, this is what Don and we've created this stuff because we understand the process. And now we're educating you on that. So there's hundreds of scenarios out there. You have to figure out, one, what is your scenario, what you're claiming, where does it fall under different ways of service connection, what is the percentage for the diagnostic code for that particular condition, do you have evidence that matches that? These are things
match that.
In the book. Yep. And they can say no all day. Eventually it's going to land on somebody's desk.
You're going to get a high enough level, right, where it's like, oh, somebody made a mistake.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Dwayne, I had an HR application waiting for an appointment date, but I waited on the web. I went on the website, I'm sorry, as you said, and scheduled an appointment. 5 days later, got 100%. Oh, guess what he gets? We got it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still new to this. We got it. Yeah, there we go. Woo! Yeah.
Man, that's a lot. We've got 3, 4, 5 people already. A lot of high level review stuff going on right now.
Yeah. And it's high level reviews, people are winning. Again, even if you just go to a high level review like you did with informal conference, you have to know. That's something you said. You knew about your case, and the Joe was like, man, he was, intrigued of your knowledge about it. You just can't go, well, I served and let me just tell you my story.
Stick to the facts.
As soon as you say that, if I was a Joe, you'd have lost me. You'd have lost me. Let me tell you my story. And you're like,
that was my
because
dad.
That's not what I need to hear. That's not what I need to hear. And I just did a video about HLR, Don, and it said you have to argue fact or law. Mm-hmm. So if you got an actionable and sufficient DBQ, you decided not to go to the CMP exam because 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B states no further examination may be necessary. So therefore, rate as difference of opinion. Then difference of opinion than the rater that said no. Can you do that? And somebody left a comment in that particular video, and they asked the Joe to do that in that particular scenario, and they won. Not saying that every Joe is going to do that, because you got some that they didn't get hugs when they were kids going to the bus stop, and they still feeling the pain or whatever. Yeah. All right, Ron Johnson, thank you for being a member. Good afternoon, Mr. Kimball from Louisville. Okay. Chop says the book is awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Leveling the playing field.
It's time to win.
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Hello from Mississippi, from the Sippy. Grandfather was from Tunica, Mississippi. All right. Jimmy Henry, there were HLR appointment dates and times as early as a day later, but I took a date for my convenience. Thank you. Don, we had a conversation and you tried to book it the next day.
He's like, hold on.
Like, hey, you're too emotional right now. Don't do it. You're too emotional right now. Take a step back. And finally, for migraines, due, duration, severity, and frequency, how to be in doctor's notes. Is it not in the notes? Also, it doesn't state that I have completely prostrating when they occur.
But my statement should be saying that.
Man,
plus you should be submitting you should have a log of some sorts. So I went back and I started journaling when I knew the process, because I had a plan. and I knew what my plan was to file with this. And so I took the time to develop it out, and I made the migraine buddy, great place to get that stuff.
Yep.
And you can easily export and submit from that. And then with a strong lay statement as well, you want to make sure. Dwayne, I see a big disconnect when people are talking about this between the language in the 38 CFR, and that's where we built the VA Benefits Navigator, because that example wording in your lay statement is so critical. We talk through it so fast all the time. That's exactly what a VA rater is mandated by the Code of Federal Regulations on how they need to rate your claim. That's what you need to be going to look at when you're developing your lay statement, is you're taking the language, whatever your symptomology is, it matches up with the rating criteria inside there, 30, 40, 70%, something like that. Whatever you match up with, that language doesn't have to be verbatim. Don't do it verbatim, but pull it out and use that language, completely prostrating. These are triggers.
I would do it verbatim. Because here's the thing. Here's why, Don. Here's why. Let's take migraines for an example. I had a client one time come off active duty. They granted 0%. In the lay statement, they listed the 50% criteria. They go to the CMP exam, and the CMP examiner says, oh, I can't give you 50% because the VA requires that you have a log and you don't have one. And I'm like, that's a lie, because in the M21-1, it states, here's an example, and it says a migraine log. So they're telling you, the VA is telling you, you can use this as an example. Like you said, the buddy, what do you call it? The buddy app?
Migraine buddy.
Migraine buddy, yeah. You can use that. You don't have to. So they let me know the examiner didn't know what the heck they were talking about. And I want to use another word other than heck, but just to be respectful. So he comes back in, does another lay statement using 50% criteria, comes back 0%. I'm like, dude, so in the rating decision, the rater states, your examiner stated that you informed them that they interfere with your employment. He does a high-level review, not the informal conference, and he says, hey, in my lay statement, I give symptoms that meet the 50% criteria. According to the 38 CFR and M21-1, I'm competent to give symptoms. Also, in the rating decision, the rater states that my examiner stated in the exam that I informed them that my migraines are very completely prostrating and they interfere with my employment. 2 weeks later, gets a rating decision from the high-level review, 50%.
And when you're doing your lay statement, your migraine log should back that up. So I went back, I think, at least 14 months in my log, but I logged every day in the month that it occurred. I signaled if it was work interruption, when it was prostrating, when it impacted my family. I actually logged what medication I used to treat it during that time, because I have like a variety of things that I take. But I listed all that stuff out, and all that stuff backs up what you're stating as your lay statement.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to give away a free book. We're going to give away a free book. I have a question in my head. I gave the 3-digit code for St. Petersburg, Florida regional office earlier.
Oh, man.
3-digit code. When I was talking about HLR, Seattle, and St. Petersburg. So it was a 3-digit code that I gave. The first person that puts that 3-digit code in the private chat. Let's put it in private chat, or you can put it in the comment section.
Put it in public chat. Yeah, we'll do the private.
Get your email. Yeah. Get your email.
Man, I don't even know. I live in Tampa.
Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah. And I'm gonna give you a hint. The first numbers, 3 numbers. The first number is a 3. So actually, people, if you have the link to the M21-1, okay, you can bring that up in the search bar. Put in St. Petersburg Regional Office. Okay, or something like that. Yeah, yeah. You Google. Yeah, you can Google too, right? All right. But in the meantime, let's keep going.
Is it 317?
Done. Okay.
Well, no, there's 8 answers in the chat already.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
man. All right.
Sure,
so who's the first?
Sherman Barker.
Sherman Barker got it. Sherman Barker got it. So in the private chat, Sherman Barker, give me your email. I don't want you, unless you're comfortable putting it on here and other people see it, and I will send
don't
you
put it in the public chat.
All right, yeah. You know what? Let me write this name down. So the name, so if somehow this code gets out, I will reject the code if it's other than Sherman Barker. Okay.
Sherman Barker 1259.
Yep, I'm writing it down.
That's their handle on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they started coming in already. Yeah, a bunch in there.
And if y'all want me to give a free book away every month, let me know, and I can do this.
Dwayne, let's go.
Yeah, one book. Yeah, and you know, Akil purchased some books, so yeah, so people are paying attention. Okay, I like this. He's like, wait a minute.
I don't know.
I like that.
I think we're missing up here.
Yeah, I'm going back. I hate this because when you get off kilter here, it's like, man, you got to go
had
back.
some questions about the program between that and beta. Let me go up a little bit.
Follow migraine. Okay, so we got Buddy Hill. This is why I went Marines. Okay. They just did a Terra memorandum in my file, and I have documented that several CMP exams are not needed. What does Terra memorandum mean? First, I got a video on Terra, right? And people don't overthink the process, okay? And I don't want to downplay a Terra memorandum, but you got to understand what Terra is. And in that video, I'm breaking it down. So you have a current diagnosis of something. Let's say it's a skin condition on your hands, and you work with solvents, okay, as a mechanic, and you didn't use any type of PPE, okay? So you could file that under Terra. We have a section in VA Benefits Navigator just for Terra.
Just for Terra.
Help you build out that lay statement, okay? So, and then a lot of veterans say, well, they denied it on direct basis, then they denied it on Terra. That's a good thing because they say even though you don't meet direct service connection, let's see if we can service connect this vet under Terra. So if you file something under Terra, you need to know that chemical toxin that you were exposed to. You were in the Navy, worked on the flight deck. I don't know. I have an idea of what jet, I don't know what they call it, jet stream. What is that coming out the back of the jet?
Just came up with one of the software subscribers. We were talking about this exact scenario like a week ago. Remember the toxins? Yeah.
And so I remember being out on field maneuvers, and we would be close to an M1 Abrams tank, and that has a jet engine in it. And I remember smelling those fumes. I'm like, man. So imagine somebody working on a flight deck doing flight operations, 12 hours a day, and they got that. I don't know what that. I watched something. I can't remember the documentary where that back blast shield comes up on the flight deck. Somebody let me know what that is. And you got that jet, and they're ramping up, and then.
All them just walking around.
Yeah, you got the guy in the green shirt. He's like,
he's got the cones.
Yeah, they're doing this. And they pass them off to the person. I did a video. In that video, I was talking about, in Terra video, I was talking about that because I'm like, people, let me know, what does the green jacket stand for? What does the yellow jacket stand for?
Yeah, they all have different duties on there.
Yeah. What is the white jacket? And man, people, they were like, oh, I was Navy, and it stands for this. And they were proud, man. I was like, okay, all right, I see it. So again, when you understand, you got to have that diagnosis, and then you have to lay out your lay statement. So we have a section in VA Benefits Navigator that has a Terra option for you, okay? What makes the VA want to sever a claim after I requested a corrected effective date? Woo! That just gave me goosebumps right there. I have a video on this. It's called Adverse Action. Okay. And I give an example of when I had to sever a condition. And Don, I got a lot of flack from that too. You just denied people when you, hey, I have to follow the regulations. I'm not losing my job granting you benefits outside of those regulations. Okay. now all the videos, the navigator, the software, the books, the university we have coming up, you shouldn't have this problem because you're going to understand the process up front. Okay. And a lot of times it's not the veteran's fault. The rater could have made a mistake. I made mistakes where I had to call an error on myself. Somebody else had to call an error. Okay. We're human. It happens. You know, we hold VA employees to standards like they're not human and they don't get things wrong.
Apparently not in Philadelphia, though. They do things different up there.
Yeah, that pension office. I did a video on that. That was good. Yeah, there was management involved in that, and it was more people involved than the OIG said, because if that person, you know, the quality department, and I did a video on the QRT team, quality team, they pull some of your work every month. And the amount of cases that person did and granted,
it was like 15,000 claims or something.
Oh, it was more than that. It's like 85,000 over the course of 3 years. And then they gave the average that other people did. It was like 1,200, and they're like it's like 39,000. So you're telling me management, the assistant coach, the AVSM, the service center director, the service center manager, director.
Nobody.
All of them did not know it. And then OIG said their boss, the Northeast regional directors over all those ROs, questioned it, and management in Philadelphia still lied. They was like, "How can this happen?" You know, so it's crazy.
Well, which then sparked all those articles that came out about fraud in the VA system. BMW hopped on that and squashed that stuff real quick, though, if you saw their articles that came out. But I got a couple beta people in there asking some questions. Can we address those real quick?
Okay, let me get to them.
Mike, I see Mike's comment there. Mike's a Savad. He's a subscriber. Mike, bring that to class December 16th if you can make it. Bring that to the live. So that's great for the group. We don't get into reviewing your work, but we will in those live situations. So if you come out, because you participate in those group settings, so bring that there with us. Terrence Jones had a question up here. What's the difference between beta and the university?
Okay,
so I wanted to address that.
Will Vets, he said in the morning. Okay, it's late here, Will, so I know how you feel.
He's in Thailand right now. Thailand. But to answer Terrence's question, if he's still on here,
I'm trying to go
down.
In
the software group, so he's got the software right there. Yeah. So, but Terrence, you're in the software. What we've done is we've launched a university around Dwayne's book. So make sure you get the book because you're qualified for that. The book has a lot of strategy and details that we couldn't just pack into the software. The software is a very technical piece. It does something. But in February, we're launching. That's what we just announced on Tuesday's class. Live with you guys that we're opening up a university. It's a 5-month-long course. And what we're doing is we're taking the book, the blueprint, and we're walking you guys through step by step. And so we're hand holding the education process with you. Here, when we do our lives, we're doing live monthly with you guys on the software about how to use the technology and apply it for developing your claims and connecting to the 38 CFR. The university is going to go a deep dive in the book and how to use the book. And what did you say? The trifecta?
The trifecta.
Trifecta. The book and the software are used in conjunction with each other. This is the blueprint on, if you haven't gotten into the book, he literally is walking you through filing a claim, a dummy claim, all the way through the book. That's all our whole 5 months with you guys, which is only an hour, 2 1-hour sessions a month. So nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And nothing crazy. You got to read the chapters. And let me tell you, easy read. I've sat down in a few hours. I've read half the book already. So it's nothing complex. But what you're coming out with a strategy, and you're coming out of this with knowledge. And this is the knowledge that we're talking about, that we can't just pack into a 1-hour technology training session, right? So that's what the university is for. I think Muddy Heel, if he's still on, he's the guy that pushed us a little bit in the beta sessions. We're like, what about more?
And that's when we were in beta. We had with a punch list was almost 300 items.
Checklist of things to build in the technology or things that people are asking about. So not everything fits into the technology. That's why we wanted to build the university. And again, we wanted to become the standard of education because nobody's done it. And we're building an educational system. This is becoming an institute that we're training you guys on the processes. Because once you learn the processes, it's simple. Like you just follow the blueprint.
Yeah.
Like we have to go back to the book here, the blueprint.
And Don, you know, I'm going to ask people here, and people are dropping in a little bit. We'll wrap up here in a minute.
Yeah.
But what do you all think about? We're in Florida. What do you all think about us doing a 2-day university?
Oh, Kill's idea. Where's he at?
No, I'm saying like it's 10 months, but packing that into a 2-day,
2 days,
8 hour a day, where we're going through maybe like every 2 hours, we're doing a chapter, take a quick break. People, you bring your laptop and, we'll take a break if you need to step away, do an intent to file or
get your like disability. Something like that, huh?
Yeah, 2-day. Let us know what you think. We're always looking for some new ideas, but it's just going over these 10 chapters, like taking a chapter every 2 hours, discussing it, taking questions. Then we go on to the next one. You be here in sunny Florida. Maybe we do the first night, do like a dinner for everybody, meet and greet, something like that. But it'll be like the 10 months compressed into 2 days, right? And so we think, just an hour, 2 hours. We spend 2 hours on a chapter, take a break, and go to the next one. Let me know if there's something that you all will want to do.
We have a veteran interested. We're seeing like, are there more people interested?
Right. Yeah, to pull off something like this, we did an event, a business coaching event, and going around and looking at venues here in Tampa. We're going to need more than one.
It's person. A lot of effort to do something.
Yeah. All right. I bought your book, Went From No Rating. That's the first book that they're talking about. Okay. So there we go. 23 with back pay to 2025 after your HLR video. There it is, people.
Yeah, all on his own.
There it is. Okay. So we are over time. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to look, Lionheart, thank you for that. I know you said that you couldn't get it. Yep. Thank you. So if we do that, maybe we get with a kill here, and the third day we do some type of financial summit, maybe turn into
wealth management trainer right there. He's got a whole system as well.
Yep. Get him in to come in and talk about some stock trading. Or,
I'm still waiting for my password to DK.
See, you had to rat me out to a kill. You're gonna be like, man, you ain't good done. I still got to send somebody access to the YouTube channel. I am like, it's. Hey, people, the struggle is real. Okay, so don't forget, this is the link. I've been putting it in the chat for everybody.
I'm just flipping.
If you want to you get signed up. You still got time. I think on here we got a countdown. I think we're what 67 days.
We pull up this one real quick. This is a big one here. America Caver. He had a partial lung removal. It was lowballed by the Raider at 0%.
Arrived today. Let's see. I saw that.
826. Maybe he didn't say enough in the facts of pain and discomfort he's dealing with, but he's asking, should I ask for an increase now or wait?
Oh, let's see. There it is. Okay. Dwayne had a partial lung removal and was lowballed by the Raider at 0%. Maybe I didn't say enough about the facts of pain and discomfort I'm dealing with, so I asked for an increase now. All right. So first thing, what you're going to do, intent to file.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a member too, America, I'm sorry. You're going to do an intent to file. 800-827-1000 intent to file. While you are on the call, you're going to ask them for a disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Okay. And you're going to have them to email it to you. The reason why you're asking for that is because you want that 4-digit diagnostic code. Okay. And once you figure out that diagnostic code, you can Google it, VA diagnostic code, whatever, it's going to give you the different percentages. And this is something we did the heavy lifting for individuals in the software, right? And then you're going to say, oh, I meet the 50% criteria. Does your evidence match it? If it doesn't, you go out, get the evidence. You already got your effective date locked in. If it takes you 2 or 3 months to get that evidence to match that 50% or whatever that criteria you feel that you meet, then that's when you submit the 526CZ with that evidence using the quick submit link. Now, if you have evidence, when you find out whatever percentage you feel you meet, let's say 50%. I don't even know if you can get 50% for that, but let's just say 50%. If you know that evidence is of record in your folder, especially the lay statement, then that's a high level review. You can do an informal conference and say, hey, the rater assigned a 0%, but evidence to include my lay statement, which shows the symptoms of X, Y, and Z, meets the diagnostic code criteria for diagnostic code, whatever, 50% criteria for diagnostic code, whatever. I should have been granted that particular percentage. You're dealing in fact at that point.
Yeah, because if he goes for the increase, he might lose the effective date at the same time, but then
right.
try to appeal for that.
Yeah. So you got a couple of options. There's, so that's what I would be saying, what is the criteria for the percentage you feel you meet? And did you have the evidence at the time? If not, it's increase, intent to file. You go and get that evidence, and then you submit for the increase.
And that's one of the challenges. When we talk about that, that's what's sitting inside of the 38 CFR for that diagnostic code. That's why you want to get that letter, see what the diagnostic code is attached to that. Go look that up in the 38 CFR. It's a bear, but we do have some software that help you do that.
Yeah,
that's why we built the software. It's the cheat code. It's the easy button to hit the easy button.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Somebody said Seattle VA 3-digit code is 663. All right. That's got to be a VSR, probably, all right. So I'm looking for Sherman.
Oh, you can't find the button or the place to go DM you, basically.
Okay. All right.
Give them the support email or info at.
Okay.
I don't have access to the chat, or I would drop it. Yeah. Wealth management sounds great. Hit up Akil Bay. Where's he at?
Support. It's support at vabenefitsnavigator.com. Send us your email there. I'll give you. I'm gonna make a special code for you. All right. So you can get free shipping. You get the book for free, and you get free shipping. I'll give you 2 separate codes from that, because we use a code for some of my members. I'll just make a special code just for you. Okay. Somebody says yes. Wealth management sounds great. Akil, where you at, Akil? Put the link to your website, Akil. Akil teaches that. Don and I met with him for like an hour and a half.
Software, a lot of stuff.
Man.
I was like, man,
boy, he came like with Mike Tyson.
How'd
that feel? Bam! How'd that feel? I was like,
it's packed in there. And these guys do live trade. They're doing live trading sessions with each
other. Yeah, we got to get on that. It's just with these YouTube, with everything that we got going on, the university, the YouTube channel I'm trying to do, just wrapped up the book. And I'm like, man, I can take some time to breathe. Nope. All right. So I'm just going down. Thanks, Buddy Hill. You guys are the best. Thanks as always.
Lisa's got something here too, real quick. Sorry, just trying to get to everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah. Lisa 4023.
What is the timestamp on that, Don?
8:43 and then 8:46.
8:43.
Right before Muddy Hill. You guys are the best comment. Yeah, there. King Bay's still on. So right here, that's Akil. You can drop your link there, Akil. We're pumping you up.
Okay. Hello. I wrote you about HLR yesterday at the Navigator session. I went back and read the appeal decision letter, service connection for TBI granted under. Okay. I remember she was in there, right? But I'm not understanding that. Is that just a comment?
Comment.
Lisa?
Oh, there's another comment below that one.
Let's see.
My case was remanded for personnel records, work performance. Should I expect a CMP exam after submitting my records?
It depends. Again, if you're claiming TBI, they have to see, when you claim a condition, the VA training is you have to, what you're looking for is treatment and service, complaints, a diagnosis, injury, or illness. The way you boost that claim is you want to already have a diagnosis. So if you have a complaint in service, yeah, you warrant a CMP exam. But if you have a current diagnosis, obviously claiming it as direct service connection, then that's going to help boost that claim. And it's going to be hard for that CMP examiner to say, oh, you don't have a diagnosis. Some examiners, CMP examiners, will give you a diagnosis, but I'd rather be proactive, get my diagnosis, get the evidence to show the percentage you feel.
Nexus.
Yeah, and all that. And another thing, we were talking about this, Don, we'll go ahead and wrap up. People, do not go out here and just pay for a Nexus statement. What are you doing? Because as a rater, if you have an actionable and sufficient Nexus statement, okay, guess what I'm doing? I'm still scheduling the CMP
exam.
Right, I'm still scheduling the CMP exam without requesting a medical opinion, because the Nexus is in the medical opinion is in the Nexus statement, right? So I need to know, okay, the veteran has a sufficient Nexus statement, but what do I grant? 0, 10, 20, all that information is in the DBQ. So, understand what you're doing, okay? Because a lot of people are going out here, oh, I had a Nexus statement, and I'm like, where's the DBQ? What's the DBQ?
There's something for that, though, right?
Yeah, there it is. I'll talk about it.
There's a blueprint for
that. and Don got a video on it too.
And the video on it.
Yeah.
I love the book so much, though, and that's why I want to give it away to every subscriber. Going forward, bending Dwayne's arm. Everybody's getting into the software is getting a copy of this book, because the YouTube channel is awesome. So much information there, but the book puts it in context, and the book puts it in strategy, and it orders the steps. And then you can go to the YouTube channels and reinforce all that knowledge.
Yeah. And so a lot of people I've had people send me comments, hey, this person on YouTube said don't buy your book. When I sat down and wrote this, I think this one, it took me like a year and a half, and I just took some time off from it, because this process can be mentally draining, because I'm talking to several veterans, we got into building the software. I sat down and just literally the training that I had as a rater, how I adjudicated my own claim. Okay. Knowing the 38 CFR and the M21-1, these are things that I'm thinking about, always thinking about, and then I put it in a book. And we use the same thing, when Don said, hey, you don't do those educational packages anymore, let's turn it into a software. And I'm like, okay. Didn't know what I was getting into, but I'm glad I did it. It took us some time. That's an understatement. It took us a lot of time.
We thought AI was the best thing. We're like, oh, we didn't do it with AI at the end of the day. We did half of it with AI, probably.
Yeah, we got away from that real quick, because AI is not there. I know people like to use it. It gives these pretty answers and for lay statements and stuff. But if you don't know the diagnostic code, 38 CFR, as it pertains to what you're doing, you could, because what I say, Don, I was doing something with AI, and I said, hey, that's the incorrect 38 CFR. It should be this. What did AI say?
You're right. My bad.
Yeah. So when I talk about AI, people, I'm not talking about it in a negative way. You still need to have that human factor.
I'm not leaving up the chance, right?
Right. I'm not saying that it's not going to be there one day. Right now, with my experience and as a rater trained by the VA, it's not there. Close, but it's not there. So Don, I give you the last words. But before
you want to hit Carlita's last comment come in. Sorry, now I pulled in like you and who's the real estate guy. I know you guys always try to reach all the comments before you hop off.
Yeah. I was diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea 3 months ago after active duty deployment. CMP exam said struck the sleep apnea. Can grant me service connection under Terra. Is this true? If you were diagnosed after deployment, if you were on active duty, that's direct service connection. You don't have to claim it due to Terra. Okay. So again, that's where understanding this particular process comes into play, especially as it pertains to what you're doing. So everybody, before we give Don the last words, don't forget, I just saw something, man. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna show you something. I don't know if you can see.
Is somebody in the background? Is Muddy Hill in there?
Right here. Jose.
Oh, Jose's there too. Yeah, he's in the subscribers.
And this is Will right here.
He just won. He won the. So every month we're giving away private 101s too. I think Will just won that.
That was who won that? William won that. I got an email.
No, he's right there below Jose. Two below.
Yeah. He won. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just noticed that. I was looking at the website and I was like, yeah. So yeah, we ran out of space and did the launch. So yeah. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so definitely we're super excited about these university people. I think this came from when we were people were beta members asking for more. And we were like, man, I was like, hey, Don, what about we do a university? And we jumped on it, put some time in it, hired someone to help us with it. A couple of people actually were building a small team. And again, people, at the end of the day, it's about empowering you through education. And that's what we're doing. We're not, guaranteeing you anything. No one can. Okay. But we're coming at it from an educational standpoint. And that's what Don said. We're the only ones in this space doing that. So Don, I'll turn it over to you and take us out for any last words of wisdom.
There's one more comment. You want to do that one too? I know there's always gonna be one more comment. Is that right?
And we missed some people, so they're like, I know they're like, you didn't answer my question. All right, I submitted a private Nexus letter for obstructive sleep apnea, secondary to depression and rhinitis. VA doctor provider negative opinion, least likely for service connection and secondary. Can I still win? Yes, we just talked about that. Mm-hmm. Where's the DBQ? But first of all, people, just because somebody's going to write you a 29-page Nexus letter doesn't mean it's sufficient for rating purposes. I know you like, I
had a Nexus that got denied. That's right. Yeah.
But it was crazy. If you don't mind sharing that story, Doug, you had two and they picked one and not the other. It's like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah. I had two Nexus letters with a medical professional. One was migraines. I can't remember. Oh, the other one was, something else, but we won't get into that one.
Yeah.
I wake up in the middle of the night oftentimes. They accepted one. They denied the other from the same medical professional. Yep. And I had the knowledge, I had the structured evidence, and I had a DBQ to go along with it, and they just flat out denied it. That's the one I took all the way to the end, to the high-level review, and ended up winning in the end. Yeah.
Winning.
So
somebody said you're not going to answer my tricky question, and I'm looking for it, and I cannot find it.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, and they don't have a search. Let me go down because I am.
Oh, he just commented. Drop it in there again, Kevin.
Yeah, darn, not going. Yeah, drop it. I'll get it. I'm trying to go back through these comments.
Yeah, and sorry if we didn't get to it. We try to answer everything.
Yeah.
But man, we went 2 hours tonight, huh? We always go long. See, this is how our live training sessions go too.
Can MEPS doctors document things that they think they see, or should they MEPS? That's entrance exam, so they should be documented. Yeah. HLR saved me. Thanks. It took me 1 hour to be able to send you money. YouTube said something about a bug. Hey, I get it. I had to recreate the live stream because it was like, we can't stream to YouTube. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Kevin, I'm not seeing the question. I know I think I saw, here we go. Wait a minute. I think I am retired military and joined a MRP, military retirement pay, but I don't see any other. Oh, okay. Here we go. I found it. By the way, I had a situation where I had a claim approved, but the claim letter stated the following: veteran elected to receive or VA comp. A proposed adverse action is required. Long story. Yes, that is. That is actually on an older 526CZ. I don't think they asked that question on the updated one. I could be wrong. I'm just going off of memory. Short. I guess I
Now,
made
when
it.
you, because I'm not retired, but do they do? You get a blended version of that, or do you get both of those? They separated out.
So what happened? You get both, but there's like they'll withheld. I think DFAS withholds like when you and VSRs do this, and I never was a VSR, so I'm just going off of memory of what VSRs told me. I did a video years ago where I talked about the VA claim matrix, where when you're 10%, you get this, 20%, you get this. When you're 50%, I'm going off memory. When you're 50%, you get both. You get your full VA compensation and full retirement. But at some point, they're going to withhold something, and that's what the VSRs put in the notification letter. Okay. But if you're 100% permanent total, 50% or higher, you should be getting both. So if when he said he clicked that box, I can't recall. I have to look at a current 526EZ. I know an older 526EZ years ago, they asked that question if you elect for one of the two. And it's confusing. And so, but now if you're still being withheld, that retirement pay is still being withheld, that lets me know you're under 50%. If you retired, 50% should be a no-brainer. I would think, did 20 years, you got to have something. Get over that 50% threshold so you can get the full retirement pay and the full disability compensation pay. I don't think he asked another question. Let me go now. Okay, okay, he did. Yeah. So that adverse action, I have a video on adverse action because it's really time sensitive, Kevin. You have look at that notification letter. They probably gave you 30, 60 days to take action. I would do an RVSR hearing. I have a video on an RVSR hearing. And then you can submit new evidence. But it doesn't seem that adverse action and retire pay, I think those are two different things. You got something else going on, and somebody's going to have to look at all that evidence to determine what is actually going on with that, because I think that adverse action could be separate from their retirement pay withholdings. Okay. But in that video where I talk about adverse action, hey, file a new claim for something that you never filed before. File an increase. Okay. Because if those claims get adjudicated before the final action for the adverse action, you don't lose any money. You probably get an increase in something, right? Yeah. So if they reduce one thing and you get service connected for something else, your pay doesn't change. It could go up. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. Don, I think you already gave us your last word. I know we are over time.
Said, yeah, was that another comment? But I appreciate you having me on, Dwayne, and we look forward to opening up the university. Somebody asked if we do claim development. We do not do claim development. We do claim education. So we are opening up a university. That's Della 3055. We don't file your claims for you, but we show you and walk you through and educate you on the exact process, the blueprint to do it. You're going to come away from our university that opens in February. If you want to join Della, now's a great time to put intent to file in, join that university. It's a 5-month process, but we are walking you through the education process on knowing this stuff. So everything we talked about tonight, you're going to come out of that knowing exactly what to do, how to do this stuff, how to build this claim for yourself. So we want to empower people, but that's coming up in February. That's that link right there, vabenefitsnavigator.com/Black Friday. We launched on Black Friday. We're just going to run that all the way through February and the start of the first cohort, but we're excited to launch that, get you guys going, and just help more veterans.
All right. Well, Cassandra, Don, you started this. So you didn't answer my question. I filed a claim in error. I wanted to file
left behind, right?
Yeah.
Is that your moniker?
Yeah. I wanted to file the hypertension and migraine secondary to PTSD. When I submitted it, it showed I submitted an increase with already at 70%. Do I want to jeopardize my rate? Okay. So what you can do I actually have a video how to withdraw a VA claim. I got a video on explaining it. Maybe I ought to do an updated video on that, right? So you can call 800-827-1000 and let them know you want to withdraw your claim, the increase for PTSD claim. And then you also want to put it on a VA form 21-4138. Use the quick submit link. And I have a video about the quick submit link in the description section of the video. You'll see that link. Okay. So a lot of people, I don't know, Don, if people don't know what the description section is, because in the description section of this video is all of our sponsors, the links where you can go to the website, schedule time, get the DBQs, Nexus statements, and stuff like that. So I was trying to find my channel.
I don't know how the live show up, but yeah, in YouTube world, just underneath the video, there's a drop down selection. So you look for that little drop down arrow, and it'll expand, and there'll be a bunch of information contained there.
Right. So here is, let me share with this right quick. And this is an older video, so do not laugh at me, people. This video is from 2 years ago.
How far away is this? 2 years ago?
Yeah. See, stop screen share. So I could show you all what I'm talking about when I say description section. Okay, here we go. This is an old video. What VA conditions can you claim without being documented in service? Woo! Okay, I think this is my highest video. So you can also purchase the books here. Somebody did. I saw that question earlier. How do you purchase the books? Okay, so when you all come to one of my videos, right? See this right here? This is the description section. You have to click on more. When you click on more, and this is, like I say, 2 years ago, so I don't have the sponsors here. I just, pick the video. But in here, you have the sponsors, the links, all of that stuff, other valuable information. Here's the website. So the description section looks different now. This is, over 2 years ago. So things look different. Okay. So even in this video, any current video, I have all the books. You click on this, takes you to my Shopify store.
Right side, you got some newer ones there.
Yeah. Let's see.
4 months ago, hidden doc exposed.
Yeah, let's see. That's a playlist. Veterans, do you know the #1 document?
Yeah, look at that.
See, look, even background looks different.
2 years ago to here.
Yeah, 4 months. Even my shirts are different now. Let's see, what do we got? Okay. Man, this one. Yep. So here's the sponsors. Okay, Access Medical, Tampa Counseling Wellness, the book, VA Benefits Navigator. There we go. Launch Navigator. This is the older website, but Don, this will direct them to the new.
Let's double check that. It should.
All right, here we go.
If Don did his math right. Oh, did you freeze up? You froze up. Oh no, he froze up. Oh, okay. You're back.
Okay, here we go. All right. We won't try that again.
Yeah.
Try that again. Yeah. All right. So people. So again, from the educational standpoint, that's where we're empowering you to work with your claim. No one's going to do it. No one's going to dedicate more time, resources to it.
No one's going to be as vested as you are. Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Take care. Good night. I am glad. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. We are on YouTube. I'm looking at a YouTube feed. I'm even scared to click it.
but I'm on the YouTube homepage and I see us. Oh, here we're
Oh, they
live.
got us listed up there as
Yeah,
live.
we're live. Okay. All right, everybody. Take care. Hopefully, we'll see you either in the software or the university. You still have time. We're going to be posting it. We have our first promoter program where individuals are going to be sharing it on their social media accounts, and love to see you there. And we want everybody to win. With that being said, take care and a good night.
Good night, everybody.